Okay, they can hear you now. You guys can hear her now? Yes? Because it... Mm-hmm.
I can hear it.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Thank you, Sylvester!
I can't hear shit. What do you mean, Loopty?
Loopty! Don't even... I'm gonna punch him in the face.
Oh my god. I can't even hear myself.
I can't even hear myself. Alright.
Oh wait, how did those soundboards get back on? I didn't do that. Bubba probably did that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have to get your mic. What? What?
I think Sylvester is the drum. Yes?
I don't think you meant to send that. Get a Yeti, it sounds so good. Oh.
Oh. We were like, what? But you have the mic.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe. I don't want Yetis, I don't. Okay.
It sounds really good, and I'm guessing you're like yelling or anything, and you sound very loud.
Yeah, it's actually pretty far away too. It's crazy.
Yeah. See?
Well.
Alright, who's lurking? Jesus.
I know.
Stop lurking! Show yourself.
Well, today's podcast is about coronavirus and quarantining, and we're going to take you through specific months sectioned off, like beginning, the middle, to like where we are now, and like how we feel. We also want your input on it and how it was for you, so like just type in the chat anything you want to know or anything you feel, and we can just discuss it. Like the beginning of it, when the hell did it? You said something about it being out, but like not.
The thing is, the first case of COVID-19 was found, obviously, in China, and it was found in December of 2019, early December 2019. But, like, we still didn't know what it was. That person was obviously quarantined and all that stuff. But, before they were, corona can live in you for 2 weeks without you, like, showing symptoms. So it's like the person went around, licked everybody's butthole and everybody got sick.
No.
So it's like... So it grew from there. But it started in December. And I think it got to the point where it got really bad in March.
Yeah, I remember
late February, March, because I started work from home in March.
Yeah. I remember I went to Disney in February, and I got back home and I was doing like all this stuff with like Twitch and streaming, and then I would go to work at Ulta.
I got this. Bueno, en mi humilde opinión, claro, sin ofender a los que piensan diferente, es mi punto de vista, pero viéndolo así un poco más a profundidad, sin pelear y tratando de dejar todo en claro, teniendo en cuenta las características de cada uno, yo sinceramente pienso que lo que iba a decir ya se me olvidó. Gracias. Good job, Lifty. He said, well, in my humble opinion, without offending anyone who thinks differently, from my point of view, but seeing it a little bit more like deep down, without fighting, trying to leave everything clear, having all the characteristics in check with everything, I sincerely think that what I was going to say, I already forgot. Thank you.
Oh my, thanks for wasting our time. But I was working in Ulta, and the whole, like, all the stores closed down, and I got put into, like, obviously unemployment and stuff, and I couldn't legit go there for months. And I think prior to that, Sylvester and I went grocery shopping, and the masks weren't a thing yet, or at least we didn't know, because, like, we don't watch the news, like, we don't do that. We only, like, it's really, like, nothing big, like was happening for us to be watching the news at that specific point to be aware. And then so we go into the store and a few people weren't wearing masks, but most of them were, and we weren't. So we walk in and a few people were like, why aren't you wearing your mask? Put your mask on, you're gonna get sick, blah blah blah. And then we're like, what do you mean put our mask on? This is so stupid. How is that gonna prevent anything? Legit, like you're touching things. And then Sylvester went to work like the next day or that week, and he got scared, like super scared, to the point where we were wearing gloves, we were wearing masks, we were like sanitizing. So it went from us thinking it was stupid to like everyone like straight up like scared the shit out of him, to us like wearing a lot of things. And that was that like first moment. But I still like, I don't know, I don't want to get into our opinions yet. I guess let's just like keep going. Like, where were you? Like you said.
Well, as Barbara knows, I actually went to Mexico in March. And I remember that is when things started to get pretty bad. But it wasn't bad to the point that airports were still working 100%. I went to Mexico. Never once did I have to wear a mask or anything like that. I was at a freaking water park and everybody was like touching their penises in the water. And it's like, so it's like, and then I come back and literally that same week that I came back, I got a message from my boss the night before I was gonna go into work. Let's say I got back on a Sunday and I have to start work on a Tuesday. So Monday night, he was like, hey, so you're back, right? From Mexico? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay, you're gonna have to self-quarantine for 2 weeks. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, it's a regulation now. And I was like, yeah, okay. And then the day after that, on Tuesday, he was like, you know what? Scratch that. Come in with a mask and gloves, and you're gonna come get your laptop because we're sending you to work from home. Yeah. And I was like, okay. But I was the first one to go work from home.
Oh, probably because you were
the whole company.
Yeah.
Because I was the only one. Yeah. And then they sent me home, and in that same week, everybody, all Amazon, and there's thousands of us working for Amazon here in Costa Rica, we're all work from home. And our current contract says until January, but it got extended until June.
June of next year?
Because we're so many on the floor that if one person gets sick, everybody's going to get sick.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a single person who won't get sick. And I am so high risk. I'm super asthmatic. I have anxiety caused high blood pressure. I have an autoimmune disease, a virus that already keeps my immune system low. So like you can ask Barbara, I get a cold and it takes me like a month and a half to beat it.
Yeah, she's very sick very often. But like,
so it's like,
yeah.
But before that, before March, here in Costa Rica, we heard of cases in like China, and like Italy got really bad in that time, and we were like, wow, the Italians.
Oh, yeah, you know what's crazy? I forgot I was still going to school because I'm in online school now that I forgot about that. But yeah, so I was going to school, going to classes, and then I went to Florida, right? And I came back. And then, like, you're not supposed to miss days. And I was already missing. And my teacher specifically said, and I didn't even know, like, he didn't know I was going. He's like, don't go to Disney World while in school. Do it on a break or whatever. I'm like, you know nothing. I'm still gonna go. And I came back. And then schools, like, legit, like, shut down. They're like, yeah, we're gonna go into remote learning and all that. And then that was kind of easier for me, because most of my classes were pretty simple. I just had to, be on Zoom, and like I totally forgot about that, because completely, like, now everything's so online that I forget I'm even in school. it's weird. Like, I have to set reminders for my homeworks or else I won't do them because there's nobody else telling me to do anything or like a reminder or like anything. But yeah, I totally forgot about that. But when this first went down, it was actually a bit perfect because February, like, we just got all this like PC stuff. We got on Twitch, we started streaming like straight up. And it's like it gave me a bit of room to sit down and do this for a while to grow. So then I could do it a little bit more freely, like get all the hard work done, get like a community because that takes a while. Get like games I know how to play, like learn the setup as soon as I can. So then later on, if I like have to do something and I'm not on for a while, I can just quickly get back into it when I do come back. And I think that's what really like helped me get all this done was COVID. But then what's our other months?
March through August.
So I think being here, it was crazy because like everything was being sold out. You could only buy 2 of each item. There's arrows for each aisle walking into the grocery stores. The grocery store I go to, there's a long ass line and you have to wait outside and only a few people got in and a few people could come out. And it's all relaxed now. Like the lines are not as long as they were, but it got so dramatic. I feel like if people didn't like make it so dramatic, you would like feel a little bit better. You wouldn't think the world's ending because I think they overdid it by buying so much stuff in bulk. Like, relax. Like, you're not
toilet paper.
Yeah, like you're not gonna die necessarily. Like, it's not a Holocaust. It's not like the zombie apocalypse. It's nothing like that. You don't need to stock up, but like quarantine for 2 weeks, like 2 weeks, you don't need a shit ton of toilet paper. I don't know how much you're shitting in 2 weeks, but you do not need that much toilet paper. And if you suspect you're sick, stay home. If you suspect something, stay home. Even if there's like even if you don't feel sick, maybe you don't know, but like if you think maybe a friend is sick, somebody you know, also like distance yourself as well. But yeah, it was terrible. But then everybody from the city came out here to the nice beachy area, the small town over here compared to your small town over there. Like, you think gathering all those people and doubling it here rather than separating you guys would make sense? Like, how would that make sense? We don't have anywhere to go. We're not going to go to your place. We're not swapping. You're just doubling the amount of people over here instead of over there.
Yeah.
And so over here it got so bad. It got so bad. Then summer hit and everybody forgot about Corona. Everybody forgot about Corona. They're like, yeah, let's go to the beach. Let's go hang out. Masks? What are those? Let's just throw them on the floor. Gloves? We don't need that. Oh, what are those arrows in the aisles? I've never seen an arrow before. Let me just walk right here. It's just legit. It's crazy. Everyone forgot. I don't know. Like, I remember I was in Walmart once and a kid was walking with his dad and he walked in front of us and he just sneezed on the floor, just spit everywhere, and we're like, there's Corona and your child just spat on the floor in front of us. Like, you're not gonna say anything?
There isn't Corona, my dude.
Like, what?
You don't do that even if there isn't Corona.
I know.
Like,
the dad said nothing. He said nothing. Ew. But yeah, it went from like this dramatic to everyone just like, fuck this. Like, oh, you're gonna die anyway. But it's like, I don't know. It was so dramatic. At one point, I got sick and Sylvester got sick. And it was kind of a weird sickness, but it wasn't Corona because he got tested and he was negative. But because we were sick, we both decided to stay at home, you know? And we told our jobs, we're like, hey, we don't know if we have it, but we want to just stay at home to just make sure. And at that point, the tests were taking like longer than they were now. They took about like 14 days to even longer. It took us so long to get the results. But like by that time when we got it, our jobs were kind of like over us. They were like, yeah, dude, you've been out for like long. Like, dude, like we could replace you. Like this is ridiculous. I'm like, okay. I know Sylvester's job got he just got bullshit with him. But for me, I personally just quit because I didn't really like the way they were just treating me in that way. But that's August. That's the summer, you know. The summer was traumatic and dramatic because of the amount of people and the thinking it's crazy, it's nothing.
Yeah.
So I was between both, kind of. It was a lot, really. I got the corona weight. I had the quarantine weight now. I did get fatter from sitting in this chair for months.
Here in Costa Rica, things did obviously not as like they didn't escalate as drastically like other countries because we're a small country, but it's like for us to get to the point where we had 1,000 cases a day in a country that has 4 million people, like the whole country has 4 million people. That's a lot. 1,000 cases a day is a lot.
Yeah.
So it was like, I remember. Now I don't look at how many cases we get a day because it's like, fuck Corona. You know what? Corona can suck my dick. That's like. I remember I would watch the news every day, and it would be like 400 cases. Once we got to 500 cases a day, the health department was like, okay, we're gonna issue a nationwide lockdown. Only cars with like that their license plate end in certain numbers can go out on certain days.
That's
and you can only go to the supermarket or the pharmacy or a hospital. All the parks were shut down.
Yeah.
All the beaches were shut down. No fishing allowed. Yeah, it was horrible. And then it just kept escalating. It kept escalating. We got to 1,000 cases a day. And that's when the health department was like, you know what? Corona's always going to be around. Let's open everything.
Yeah, they opened everything here, too. I forgot everything was just closed.
In June, they started opening, like, parks, beaches. You could go to fish, so the fishermen could fish in the morning. And then we got, like, 3,000 cases in one day. And the health department was like, you know what? Not feeling this. You know what? This is my beat. Yeah. Yeah. Because, well, what really happened is, like, the president is the one who told him to, like, open everything.
Yeah.
But obviously the president isn't gonna take responsibility for, you know, his wrongdoings. He's gonna be like, you know what? You stupid ass bitch! Go take responsibility for this. And then the health department was like, sorry.
Hi, Hobbs.
So then, I was in quarantine for my birthday. I made the idea for this podcast. We actually kind of had the idea beforehand, but yeah, you did like motivate us to actually do it.
Yeah.
Because we were thinking about it. We were like, do we really want to do a Corona episode? Yeah, Loopty, they were like,
yeah.
So I was in lockdown for my birthday, and that really hit me like mentally because I really wanted to go out every year for my birthday. I hate my birthday. Barbara knows I cry every single year on my birthday. She cries every single year on her birthday. It's like a tradition. Yeah. We cry together.
Yeah, on my birthday.
But this year was just bad.
Yeah, every year
I had a whole mental breakdown.
Yeah, every year, like because it changed like everything in everyone's lives. It sucked, but like every birthday now I started going to this carnival, and that was kind of like a tradition that I was starting myself, and then I couldn't this year, and it kind of sucked. I was like, okay, I guess. What did I even do? That's the thing. I don't think I did anything.
Just stay at home. No, you just stay home.
Oh. I went to North Carolina.
Oh yeah, you did for 4th of July too.
Yeah, so during COVID, I went to North Carolina twice. But we were with his cousin, and we didn't leave the house. You know, it wasn't like we were going anywhere crazy except for the 4th of July. But like, honestly, I'm antisocial, and I just played pool with Sylvester and his cousin and their friend, and we just did our own thing.
Really worried when she told me she was going for her birthday. I was like, oh my god, she's gonna get corona, she's gonna die, I'm gonna lose my best friend.
No, for my birthday, we just we went fishing. They made me steak. Just things around the house.
No, I was completely in lockdown, and I've been like that for months. Like Barbara knows, I do not go out.
She has not left.
The times that I have left my house are very traumatic, so I don't leave. And I remember on my birthday, the day before, the health department issued another nationwide lockdown for 2 weeks, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? The day before my birthday? Are you kidding me?
Damn.
Like, that time was a complete lockdown. No cars were on the street unless you're going to the hospital. And it was so annoying because I had already made reservations at a restaurant that I like, and it was like, restaurants were operating at 50% capacity, and I was so, like, excited because I was, like, gonna go with my grandma and all that stuff, and I was very bummed out because the year before that, you know, I spent it with you and my mom, and I was like, and then this year I go from that to a fucking lockdown. I had a mental breakdown.
Anything like curbside pickup or anything? Because you said they're like at 50%.
No, everything was closed for those 2 weeks. Everything, like, no, like, food delivery, you had to like have a mask on and stuff like that, but I didn't want that. I wanted to go outside. I wanted to leave my house. So I gave myself a concussion, landed in the hospital.
Well, you got out of the house. I
got out of the house. I got to ride in an ambulance. But yeah, Corona has it's made me go crazy.
I think it really made a lot of people go crazy, and I think it made a few people like work harder because a lot of people lost their jobs, you know, and if you're really depending on specific jobs and they close down, like if you work in a store and it closes down, like what are you gonna do compared to like if like you can't be a cashier remotely, you know, like, there's some jobs that just you were like screwed. I know my store opened up later on after it calmed down. We got back in and they opened up where it was curbside pickup, so only the workers were inside, and then you could just they order something and then you bring it out to them, and then that's what was happening for a while, and then they were like, yeah, we're gonna start opening up everything. I'm like, ooh.
Hot. So you live in the UK, and I heard that, what was it, last week? Hold on, I need to mute it.
Oh, she's yelling at her dog if you can't tell. Just gonna watch her. Look at her. She's just yelling. She's yelling at her dog.
Shut up. So yeah, you guys are in a lockdown. Is it I think it's a month, right? For a month you guys are in a lockdown?
Oh, Australia's officially...
What is that lockdown?
I know Australia officially got out the 20th.
And New Zealand. But you know 13th? Why?
I don't know.
Because
they had complete lockdown. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, the UK didn't know how to do shit. Oh, useless. Same with Costa Rica, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like if maybe we just controlled it a little bit, like controlled everybody, not only the virus, because you can't. Like, for me, I feel like it's a stronger form of the flu because the flu kills people as well.
Yeah, but Basha, the thing is, if I'm asthmatic, I can still get the flu and live.
Yeah, but like,
Corona mainly attacks the lungs. So if you already have a low immune system and you have a disease that already affects your lungs and your bronchioles and, you know, all that stuff, you're gonna get hit.
But like, if you know that and if you knew like the facts of that, you should kind of be more precautious. Like, let's say don't go out. If you live alone, it's kind of hard. You kind of have to. But if you live with somebody else and you know they're a little bit, you know, better, stronger, healthier than you, let them like go out if they need to, and then just don't like be in contact with them for a little bit.
Oh, yeah. No, I can't wait until, you know, I move back and Biden gets put into office, because I'm pretty sure he's gonna state a lockdown, because that's what we need. And I know. See, the thing is, it's like
had that, because now I don't know how well we're gonna.
The thing is, Trump thinks about money. If there's a lockdown, hello, Venezuela. If there's a lockdown, it's gonna hit very hard economically. Very hard, especially for the U.S. And of course, Trump doesn't want that.
But like,
Biden doesn't give a shit. Biden will come in and be like, "Hey, everybody, go home."
But like, that's still gonna like. If we just did it a little bit better beforehand, we don't have to do it again, because now it's just gonna hit harder whether we go into lockdown.
No, I know.
I know.
I feel like the lockdown should have just been a universal.
I also
Pluto, go into lockdown.
They just, the amount of like people that were still out because they were like, oh my god, we're freaking out, we need all these things, so they all rush out of the house without realizing, hey, wait, let me take a minute. If I go out there, I might catch this. Why am I gonna do this if I don't really need this stuff?
Yeah, when you said the thing about how like some people could only buy 2 of a certain item, that happened here in Costa Rica too.
Every item.
No, here it was like you could only buy, let's say, 6 cans of tuna. You could only buy 1 bag of the big rice or 2 of the small ones. You could only buy 1 thing of the big toilet paper that has like 50 something. And like everything was controlled like that. Certain days they like shut down the whole liquor thing because they didn't want anyone partying. They shut down like the part with like animal food. That was a huge riot. You had to go to like the vet or something like that, and it's like, bitch, what if I don't want to go to the vet?
Yeah, even vets are still actually they're doing curbside, so basically they take your animal in and then they bring it back out. But that kind of sucks because you aren't there. You don't experience it. You kind of say
the animal will get more stressed.
That, and it's just, you learn more about your animal and what it can handle and can't being there. Especially like, also, I've heard like when you're in labor and you're giving birth, apparently people can't be in there with you, or like going for like an ultrasound. I think it might have been the ultrasound.
That was in the States, though. That happened in the States because here in Costa Rica, here in Costa Rica, having a baby in a public hospital, you're not allowed to have the father of the child until you're actually pushing. Oh. Even before Corona. And it's awful. You're like in labor, you're in pain, and they put you in like this big ass room. Yeah. With a bunch of other laboring moms. And then once you're gonna push, then they put you in another room.
Yeah, I know like everything, like hospital and like Dr. Sylvester went for like a checkup, and I think they had to do it like outside or something. It's just, sometimes you just want to be there, because when him and I go to the doctor and he has to explain things, sometimes you're like scared, you're in pain, you're like anxious. You can't get everything out, and if the other person knows something that you already told them and then they forget that's very like important, it might like throw things off. And that's why I was always in there with him, because it's like he would say all these things. I'm like, also don't forget, because you also have this, because I'm not the one like in anxiety, like he's the one having anxiety, and that's why he's afraid to even go and get like an x-ray or whatever he needs to do, because he's still got some things going on. He's afraid to even do it because he doesn't want
radiation.
No, he just doesn't want to go alone, which I get. Like, the less people the better, but it's like it makes people not want to go, and it kind of sucks.
Actually, when I had my whole mental breakdown and I was in the hospital, my concussion was so bad that I couldn't even walk.
Yeah.
I had an ambulance take me to the hospital, and then from the hospital I was in a wheelchair the entire time. And obviously when you're in a wheelchair, you're allowed to have someone push you around everywhere, and they're allowed to help you with everything. Because if you're in a wheelchair, it's because you can't fucking stand still. You're gonna fall.
Same in school, remember? Like, if you have crutches and stuff,
Exactly.
someone has to carry
Remember
a backpack.
Yeah. And
that was me.
Yeah, Barbara was always my designated backpack holder. And I remember they put me in for an MRI. No, a CT. And the CT machine is so advanced, you gotta like position yourself, and you gotta stand up, and then when you're standing, it lays you down. And I was like, so I told him, they told him to wait outside, and I was like, no, he has to come in with me. No, it's okay, I help you. And I was like, no, I don't want you to help me, don't touch me. Because they had to like I was in like the hospital gown and all that shit, and it was like, why would I want some random ass weirdo touch me? No, I'd rather have my partner touch me. So then I full on started crying. I was like, no, he needs to be in here with me. My head hurts enough. I don't need you giving me a worse headache. And the guy was like, okay, I go get him mask. Because actually in the hospital we didn't have to wear masks. It was so weird.
How?
I know. It was so weird.
That's like ironic.
I know. Well, they told us it was because the whole COVID wing is like on the other side of the hospital. So it's like they constantly clean that side of the hospital just to make sure, but it's like there are no cases.
Yeah. I also feel like, yes, wearing a mask, like, you won't get it, but you're touching things at the store, take your mask off. I really have not seen anybody out here with hand sanitizer anymore. I have not seen, it's being sold, yes, but I don't see people using it, ever. So you're in the store, touching things, putting things, paying, pressing the buttons that everyone else presses, even though the buttons are covered, your fingers are not, because nobody wears gloves anymore. So you're all pressing the same buttons.
Hi, Daniel.
And then
hey, Daniel.
You take off your mask, right? You throw it out or you wash it. Touch your face again. Maybe you eat. You do things. Like, I don't see.
But do you not wash your hands, Linda?
No, but like I
Okay,
do.
Everyone.
No.
This is Barbara telling us that she goes into the store, she touches everything, she scratches her ass, and she doesn't wash her hands.
No, but listen, when you go to a grocery store, where do you go after? You go in your car. And if you don't have hand sanitizer...
That's why I always had the little hand sanitizer
I bought a Star Wars one, a Baby Yoda one specifically for Disney. But I do have hand sanitizer in my bags. But, like, I don't see anyone bringing it out, or after they get out, I don't see anybody touching hand sanitizer in their car. They're just relying on a mask, especially in a car. They're alone in the car with the mask on. But that's all they rely on.
Or I would wear gloves, and right as I left the supermarket, I would take them.
Throw them out. That's what it was, but not everyone did that. And I think it should have been mask and gloves if you're gonna do anything. You know, mask and gloves, not just a mask, because you're touching the mask.
Yeah.
So I just.
Well, you're not supposed to touch your mask.
But there's people who do. Like, especially now, too. Legit, in stores, the people that work in stores, sometimes they just wear the mask over here with their nose just out.
Daniel, no, this is So we do podcasts and we talk about things. This week we're talking about Corona and quarantine, and we want to know like everyone else's like experiences during quarantine. If you've had Corona, if you haven't had Corona, if you've had to be in a mandatory lockdown, if you've just quarantined by yourself, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I like lost my train of thought. I don't like.
Oh, Daniel's trying to get affiliate. If anyone wants to go follow him, that's not his account though. It's the BNA4. I don't know why he has two. Don't ask me. I followed both of them because I'm an idiot. But yeah, he's trying to get affiliate. He is, I don't know how many followers away, and yeah.
Why does he have two accounts?
He plays Phasmo. I played Phasmo with him yesterday, but my laptop was like, you know what? Don't feel like working tonight.
Yeah. If your mom and dad had it, you probably had it too. Sometimes symptoms are different.
Yeah, the thing is that we got to a state here in Costa Rica where we kind of ran out of tests, so we only had a limited number of tests. So let's say Barbara Sylvester, her mom, me, my mom, we all lived in one same house. Let's say I got sick and I got tested. Nobody else in the house did, but I got tested. Our whole house is considered a case.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's one case, there's as many cases as there is living in the house. So let's say it's 7 of us, there would be 7 cases.
Yeah.
So they would just count towards that. Even if you didn't have it, you would be counted towards like the mark.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But you probably didn't have it, or you probably did and you didn't have symptoms. But I'm glad you're okay. Okay. No problem.
Yeah.
Daniel, put your Twitch link.
About now though, like how are we now?
Now I haven't left my house still. Everyone still wears masks, but it's not as severe. We've kind of just come to the conclusion of if you get it, you get it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, the same thing here. There's people in stores, especially the workers. They sometimes just wear it here, have their nose out, and it's like...
That's disgusting!
I know. Especially if you're working in the store, like, I get a customer, like, even if it's not okay, but, like, you're representing the store. I don't know why you think
that makes like a custom-made Speedo, but it only covers your dick. Your balls are just out.
Or, yeah.
Like, no.
It makes no sense, but it's like, when other people see that, they're not yelling at the person anymore, as if they would back when it started. They're just letting it slide. They're letting a lot of things slide. And like 6 feet, like, yeah, we're in 6 feet. Like, there's stuff, and if you're in a line, there's obviously like cones or stickers.
Yeah.
But like, if you're a little bit closer than that, nobody's yelling at you anymore. Nobody's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's the same thing here. Like, Barbara said how in her supermarket there were like stickers and like you could only stay on that side of the aisle. Here in Costa Rica, when it got really bad, only one person per family was allowed in, and there was only like allowed like a total of 100 people in the store, including like the employees that are on the floor, like cashiers and all that stuff. So in reality, it was only like 50 people at a time who were able to go in. Now it's like there's no line outside. You just go, they take your temperature, and you go in. They don't even have you put on hand sanitizer or anything. It's like, if you get it, you get it. Whatever. That's like the mentality now.
I also want to add that like the summer where I live, everyone from the city comes here. So we usually get that every summer. But this summer was worse because there was even more people, and they ended up buying houses and ended up staying here longer than they usually do. And then so their kids were being pushed into schools. And if they couldn't get the kids in, they would pay whatever. Like, if you don't live in that area and you want to go to that specific area, you'll legit pay money. But let's say a kid does live in that area and can go to that school for free, they can't get in because you already paid your way in, basically. Like, the richer people, so there was legit public school waiting lists. And, like, some kids, like, I don't know anyone specifically, but I bet you there are some kids, like, middle schoolers, elementary, who couldn't go, you know, or couldn't, like, I think school's online for those ages, too. I'm pretty sure. But, like, that sucks.
Here, the kids are online. They've been online for a while.
Yeah. And it's kind of rude how, because you're a little bit, like, you're rich or, like, you're upper class, really, you think you can just get away with, like, having, like, this corona thing, like, you're more important, like, than everybody else because you have more money, that, like, your kids have to do this. Let's keep only our family safe and screw everybody else, like, thinking you are, like, amazing. And it's like, I feel bad for some old people too. Like, I know Sylvester had to help out his grandma a little bit more and do the shopping for her. Not that, like, she would go shopping, but, like, make sure she's stocked up and make sure she's okay, and to also not visit her as much, you know, because in case you have it. So it was kind of a once every now and then trip. Because you couldn't...
Yeah, like, I actually haven't seen my grandma in probably, like, a month, and I live, like, a block away from her.
Yeah. I know Carmen, I think she actually said that somebody in her family passed away, and she couldn't... Not all of the family could go to that funeral. And then there's people partying with their friends, having a fun time at the beach, all these people together, and you can't even go to a funeral, like, during that, or, like, a wedding or stuff like that. That kind of sucks. Like, imagine that. Like, you're on Snapchat and you're seeing all these people drinking, partying, and let's say your grandpa just passed away and you can't even see him for the last time.
Yeah. It's awful. Luckily, no one in my immediate family has gotten it. My mom got sick, but she got tested and came out negative. Who had it? A few of my friends have had it though, but I don't see them because I don't like them. Well, they're my acquaintances.
Yeah.
One of my neighbors had it. Yeah.
Yeah, I, like, in a way, like, I found it, like, it was, like, taking precautions, like, I had both sides. At one point, I was like, this is stupid. The other, like, I was like, oh my god, this is serious. And I would, like, yell at people, be like, stop partying, like, all these groups. But, like, at the other point, I'm like, but these masks really aren't helping if you're not washing your hands or using hand sanitizer. And it's like, I know a lot of them are not taking precautions. And I know, I'm like, okay, what is the point then? I know, I've been on both sides, and I just, nobody I know got it.
I've been on the side of, I'm gonna die if I get it.
Actually, I do know one person who got it, not personally. I just know them from Twitch, actually. And you don't know her. She's in my Discord, actually, but I don't like play games. But I did ask her what's the symptoms and stuff, and she was like, basically it's like having the flu. Like, those are like no, like, that's what she had. She's like, I didn't feel anything, I just felt sick, and then what they told me to get better was to stay home and just take things to like obviously soup, hot teas, that you couldn't really do anything except treat it as if like you had a cold or something.
See, but the is, the thing with the flu is that there's a vaccine for it.
Well, the cold then, not the flu then. You have to like just take care of your body, I guess,
like,
to get over it.
Exactly. It's a virus.
Yeah.
It's a virus. So you can't do anything for it.
Yeah.
The whole mess with this corona, and it's why I get a little agitated when people say it's like the flu, is because you can get a flu shot.
Well,
you can't get a SARS-2 shot. Like, no.
Apparently, I mean, haven't they been working on like a vaccine, or apparently they got
that
something?
Vaccine is not gonna come out for like another minimum year and a half.
Well, yeah, but then watch, that comes out and we're all gonna have to take it as like the flu. And
obviously.
And it's gonna become, well, yeah.
But this is not gonna go away.
Yeah,
this is our life.
It's gonna become like when we're like dead, it's gonna be like normal, you know, to get this vaccine. It's kind of crazy.
My computer crashes too, Daniel. That's what happened to me yesterday. I left him alone playing fastball.
Oh. Your screen's a bit blocky. But like, yeah, quarantine, let's just, obviously we were forced to be quarantined. Obviously a lot of people didn't quarantine, or just, you know, were chill about it. I feel like it gave me some time. Like, sometimes it could have been bad because you're alone mentally with, like, surrounded by who you live with constantly, and you can go insane or crazy, and it can be a bad thing because you do things to, like, get away from those people. But on the opposite side, it could bring people closer because you don't see them often. And, like, for me, it really helped with my Twitch. Like I said before, like, it helped me, like, get everything done.
Yeah.
And help me, like, get affiliated really quickly compared to, you know, taking a while. And, like, spending time with Sylvester and stuff. And my mom actually still had to work. She's a house cleaner for this one woman. And she's basically an assistant, too. Like, she legit does everything for her. And as much as they were afraid, they also moved during the corona because their house was being redone. But because corona hit, it got slower. So they had to, like, rent out another place. And then, so she had to legit be with them constantly. And that woman goes to the city a few times. So it was a bit sus. So thankfully my mom got to keep her job. But, like, yeah, quarantine I wouldn't say was too bad for me, to be honest. It didn't affect me too much.
See, but the thing is, Barbara actually loves the person she lives with.
Well, yeah.
I actually, during this quarantine,
but you realize that. You realize that, too. Rather than spending, like, longer because you don't see each other so much. Like,
I'm a very difficult person.
Yeah.
And I don't like having to deal with difficult people.
So yourself?
I know I'm difficult. No. Oh my god. I'm so lucky that I absorbed my twin in utero because I could not be able to deal with another me. I'd probably kill my twin. I'm very difficult. I know this. But it's like, Barbara knows how easily I can get agitated at something.
Mm-hmm. In
my house, there are rules. It's not like when you live with your parents, like, oh, you have to do chores there. No, but if you live with someone, everything has to be 50-50. Well, it's not like that. And especially during quarantine, since I was the one working from home, I basically had to do everything. He still had to, like, go out and work. I ended up having to pick up the slack, and then, but anyway.
But, like, see,
yeah, quarantine made me realize that my destiny is to be forever and simping guys on Twitch.
Jesus, run while you can.
No, I don't simp Daniel. I bully him.
Oh. But yeah, there wasn't as many viewers today, which is all right. But yeah, I hope your quarantines weren't too bad. I hope like you learned something from them, something about yourself, something about other people. Like from every event that goes on in your life, you should learn and take something away from it. And no matter if it's bad or good, because you can always find something good in the bad. And legit, even if it's like the bad makes it worse for you, think about what it actually did. Like, I guess breaking up is never a good thing, but getting out of it faster, realizing that like this could have happened years in the future, where you realize, oh my god, I have to pick up the slack. I have to do this and this and this. But realizing that later on, where you could have spent that time looking for somebody new, you know? But yeah, like...
Oh, I'm on that journey, don't you worry.
Yeah, exactly.
I ain't wasting my time. Hawks, yeah. I'm coming for you.
Run! But yeah, if you didn't get infected, that's really good.
Stay safe.
Stay safe, continue staying safe. If you did, I'm glad you got through it, because if I'm talking to you right now, that means you're alive. So that means you got through it.
So we hope you all stay safe. Keep, the social distancing. Don't go out if you don't need to. Party by yourself, or you can FaceTime me and I'll party with you. And yeah, just stay safe, everyone. We want you all alive.
What is next episode?
I don't know.
I will tell you guys.
I think next week is the last episode before Barbara abandons me to go.
Yeah. Actually, it's about advice in relationships and friendships.
Oh, okay.
So I think, specifically, if you guys want to know what friendships, anything on that, if you're having trouble in your friendships, let us know. Ask questions. Relationships, anything you want to know about relationships. Specific questions for Sylvester from a guy, because we're two women. If you need anything from a guy's standpoint of view, how the hell does this dude deal with this? And how, like, we're difficult. I think people know this by now. How the hell?
Yeah.
Let's say you know somebody like one of us. Like, let's say you're dating somebody that's one of us. How the fuck are you dealing with that? How are you supposed to deal with that when they do this? I cry a lot. How are you supposed to deal with somebody who cries a lot? Like, somebody, like, specific questions for, like, a guy standpoint. I'll try to search some things up. I'll keep asking you to ask us, so we can have some questions, because I think I can think of some things that I want to ask him how he deals with. So he'll be on for those questions on a different point of view. But we'll basically be talking about mostly us, really. And
a good, like, relationship advice. Friendship, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, see, we got a whole thing on friendship. And it just, yeah, it's a lot of advice.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's next Sunday. So thank you guys for watching. I will save this video and I will upload it to YouTube probably tonight. Yeah. So, anything to say?
No, I'm good.